I mean, you're one of those guys, man. You're around the game. You've been seeing it. You've been following some of these people and some of these names that keep popping up. Whew. We got to talk about it. So, without further ado, Arthur Most, that is the homie Tyler Candelaria, man. And we are super ecstatic to have you back on with us, man. Obviously, you're one of our behind the scenes dudes that has really stepped up of lately, man, and killing it, man, with the shorts and stuff like that. So, time to see how you feel about a particular player. And I'm going to just jump right off from the top rope with it. We in quarterback season right now. You know that every quarterback, we're intrigued about every quarterback. It's, hey, what about him? Does that work? We got 60 plus million in cap space. Who do we go and get? And the name that's most recently popped up, Tyler, they saying we got mutual interest. It's not just one side. It's not just us liking him or him just liking us. It's saying it's mutual. Oh, God. All right. Daniel Jones, a.k.a. Danny Dimes, is who they saying we got the mutual interest with. Talk to me, Tyler. Sell him to me. Is that the answer? Is that the guy for us? Help me, please.
Backup. You can be backup if you want. Backup's all good. I mean, that spot's open. All the spots are open. I think we only got Skylar Thompson on the roster right now.
I mean, this is true. Shout out to Skylar Thompson, right?
But hey, man, Daniel Jones, one good season. I'm sorry, one good season. Not going to lie, but I will say, unfortunately, he's won a playoff game more recently than we have. So that's the one disappointing thing.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy. And then I also said in my short video when I was talking about it, there was a little edit of him in the Steelers uniform. Okay, he looked good. The number 3 looked good on him. Like, I'll give it to him. Like, I mean,
he was fired up in the picture, Tyler. He looked good. I'm like, yo, is that he just clinched the division? And that's versus Baltimore? Like, I did that. Was that look? Or was that we went to Cincinnati and beheaded Joe Burrow? He's like, I felt the energy, man. It looked right.
Yeah, it's just, we're talking about just change, and everybody wants change within the organization. Yeah. I just think that Daniel Jones to me is the definition of just mediocrity. Like, that's just what that is. And some people, like, I actually think I saw you talking about it on your clip too. Like, obviously, I think his most comparable person that we kind of are in talks with his quarterbacks is probably Justin Fields, probably.
Yeah.
But we've had Justin Fields on the team. I liked what I saw from him. He played winning football, and don't disregard, like, the end of Chicago. He played winning football at the end.
He did.
Like, when they were,
those like last 4 to 5 games or whatever. Yeah, and that's what made it interesting about the Caleb Williams decision was mainly because of what he did at the end of the season.
Right,
yeah.
and you had guys from the roster that were the receiver. DJ Moore. Yeah,
it was DJ. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was like, he likes Justin Fields, wanted to keep him around, but that's why I'm like, if we're gonna do something that's similar to that, just keep the same guy in house. I mean, I just don't need to. And again, I know he's not going to cost much. I know his contract. I'm sure the Giants are paying.
Well, he's not getting $40 million anymore. We're off of the $40 million Danny Dimes. I mean, because non-$40 million Danny Dimes, I'm like, hey, that at least I can talk to you. That $40 million is like, don't even bring him over here. Just keep him far, far away, man.
Right, and it's like, I live in New York. I mean, Buffalo, New York, so I live around Bills fans. But I do know a lot of Giants and Jets fans, like just going to college out here too. And every Giants fan you talk to, they decided to take Daniel Jones instead of Saquon Barkley. I mean, that's the decision that they kind of did, and that's like
they did.
I was watching with the Giants fan when Philly was playing Washington. I'm like, this guy, you didn't want this guy.
Hey, look, but Tyler, I thought the thing was you're supposed to take the quarterback over the running back always, because quarterback is, it's quarterback. It's the harder position. Anybody can play running back. So I figured that was the case, right?
Yeah. See, now you're gonna throw me for a curveball there a little bit, but I don't know. I just feel like before that, Daniel Jones it was always like he had the potential. There was a game or two there. He's taking off for 70. I think he's 70 or 80 yard run.
Come on, man.
He like, listen, I'm not going to say he's awful, but it's like, I think if we're going to get better, that's going to keep us in the same spot. I think worse. You heard me on the video. I said, you know what? I told you last time, Arch Manning, maybe that's what we're doing. Maybe they're like, you know what? we do need to suck this year. And Daniel Jones is the only one we can guarantee that is going to be bad. And then we can get to that point. But let's just avoid all that and let's not bring Daniel in. Let's just.
But now, Tyler, I got to ask you though, right? Because you brought it up, you mentioned it earlier. He has the most recent playoff victory of any of the guys that we're going to be talking about, along with the organization for us as a whole right now. I mean, we're clamoring for postseason success because we say that the standard is the standard and it's Super Bowl or nothing. I mean, we're looking at the guy that, of all these names, he's the guy that most recently did that. He most recently had a playoff win. Does that not weigh a little bit more in the decision?
I would say it does, but it was against playoff primetime Kirk. And, I know that's your guy. I know that's your guy.
Oh my God. Kirk down in Atlanta, he was just trying to get some chicken wings, just enjoy his little chill day. And now he gonna caught it, bow, the quarter straight. That's crazy, Tyler. That's crazy, man.
But no, I definitely, I understand that. I think that we have the roster, that can, well, I'm trying to get there. The AFC is so tough. Like, it is so tough because at the end of the day, it's unfortunate, but right now the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens, those are the top three teams. And you never know what happens with Cincinnati. Cincinnati could be 8-9 or they could be 13-4. I don't even know.
Very true. Yeah.
They can score 30 on your head every game. So it's like
easily.
Yeah. So it's AFC is so tough where I don't think the NFC's been that tough in the past. So that's another reason why too. But I just think if you're going to dethrone those quarterbacks, not Kirk Cousins, but those quarterbacks, you're going to need a guy like that we've been hearing about that I've really kind of been switching up on is Matt Stafford, and that's kind of a guy that.
Ooh. Now, when we talk Stafford, though, you've seen the numbers associated with him. He's already getting $40 million. The Rams are allowing him to negotiate potentially to see, what his market could be. He wants 50 though. That's what he's eyeing. So where do you fall in that? Are we talking giving him the full 50 per year? Or are you in that mid-tier 45 range? We know we've cleared up about 60 million in cap space. We got flexibility. If we decided to release a couple of more players, we could get up to around 80 million. And then you can obviously add on to that with certain restructures as well. Mm-hmm. So we do have flexibility, but do you think Stafford is worth that? And he's that type of player that with us, making some more alterations to the roster, he would be that type of force multiplier for us?
I think Stafford currently, as it stands, is a top 10 quarterback right now.
I would agree.
That's why I'm like, that gets us to the level of those quarterbacks in the AFC that we need to dethrone. I think that helps a lot. But like you said, I want to use all of our caps. Like, we have so much cap space. We haven't had this in so long. So if you drop,
it feels weird, man.
It's gone. Just like that. I know we can do a bunch of restructuring and I'm sure we can figure it out a little bit, but you lose a lot because then it's like, okay, now we're gonna have to draft the wide receiver. We're gonna have to, because we can't really sign anybody that's gonna be of that tier over in 10 million range. We could get a cheaper guy potentially, like if Debo gets cut or something like that. Like maybe we can bring him on, or we'll figure something out. They always can figure it out. Omar Khan's got a tough decision because I think Stafford, out of all the quarterbacks that we've heard about and talked about, is, like I said, I think he's the best one available that we could get. I
would agree.
To help us win the big one sooner than the other guys. But if we're gonna build a stronger team, that's why, like, even last time I'm like, Justin Fields, get the cheaper contract, and you have all this cap space to kind of do whatever you need to help build the team, and then you can just still continue to build in the draft. It doesn't work it out with Fields. Hopefully you find the quarterback in the draft, but if you drop it all on Stafford, obviously, you can't really build that much free agents around him.
Yeah. I like the approach. My whole concern is this. It's like, man, with Justin Fields, if you build it up all around him and he doesn't work, you're still going to be too good to be picking high enough to get an Archman or one of those type of guys. So I'm like, how do we find that, I guess, sweet spot? And I do agree, man. Matthew Stafford, man, when you look at his body of work, Super Bowl champ, balled out. We obviously know we did in Detroit, but since coming to LA, he's been on fire.
They almost made the Super Bowl this year. They were like,
I was about to say, like, dude, think about it. They were pretty hot, man. And largely due to his ability to get going. And with the GP already here, with the Calvin Austin already here, you feel like you got foundational pieces, but we would still need another big piece out there in terms of that wide receiver. Now, The last part though with that, because it's like, all right, if we would go that road of spending on quarterback, or if we went the cheaper route, like I said, spent on Justin Fields and we did the whole all right build up around him, we still do have one other massive free agent name that's looming internally. Najee Harris.